I am not here to teach you how to speak, but instead how to be free with poetic freedom of speech. Creating a creative translation in Kennedy Center's education brings us a small brick of spoken words foundation. Creating connection and vocalization, creating movement for our moving words, shifting the world's narration. Hip hop can't stop, won't stop. Pop locking poetry for the people, finding power in healing, finding power in my own word, finding power in expression is how I became addicted to telling my story to the world with sharp articulation. Spoken word is my spoken truth. I invite you to let it be yours too. Let your words breathe strength. Bring power to your words. Follow me with passion on this unique technique, poetic beauty. Giving a standing ovation, Teaching Artist presents the ultimate spoken word celebration. Hi there. My name is Deborah Magdalena, and I am a spoken word artist. I was a TV and film actress for many years, but when I was faced with difficult times, I found solace and strength in the art form of spoken word. It's an authentic, poetic, freestyle way of performing poetry on topics that mean the most to you. It brings power to your words, which is why you should be the author of your own spoken word poem. Now, every spoken word artist has their own way of approaching their writing process. We get inspiration almost about anything at any given time. It could take us a few hours or a day or weeks to perfect our poem. Since we don't have a lot of time together, I want to focus on the performance part of spoken word and share my process with you. Hopefully, this will give you some easy steps to bring your poems to life. Now, the 3 key steps for me when preparing my spoken word performance, they are connection, vocalization, and movement. Let's begin with connection. The importance of you having a connection with specific words in your poem is because it'll help you remember why you wrote the poem. This will help you perform the poem with meaning and passion because you will bring to life these words once you add vocalization and movement. So let's go back to the poem that I performed at the beginning of the video. I'm going to pick 2 or 3 connection words from the first 3 lines. I am not here to teach you how to speak, but instead how to be free. With poetic freedom of speech, creating a creative translation, Kennedy Center's education brings us a small brick of spoken words foundation. Which word did you connect with? Really? Well, I connect with the word speak. The mere definition allows me to share my words. I can speak my words and poems. The second word I connect with is freedom, because I enjoy being able to respectfully say what is on my mind and have the freedom to share my opinion. Finally, I connect with the word foundation, because that word makes me feel grounded, strong, steady. And these are things I always want to feel during my spoken word performances. So my connection words are speak, freedom, foundation. And it's important that you actually have a connection with your connection word because it'll fuel your performance once you add vocalization and movement to your connection word. However, it's important to know that when you are selecting your connection word, don't overthink it. You really don't need a reason. It could be that you just like the word. The key is that you scan the sentences or lines, whatever you want to call them, and select the first word or words that jump out at you. It's your very own special connection. So let's get vocal about vocalization. Now, for this specific exercise, when I say vocalize, I'm speaking about how you use your vocal range during your spoken word performance. This impacts how the audience receives it. And I think we can all agree that when a person speaks too high or they're always speaking too low, it can definitely be boring. So ideally, you want to play with your vocal range when you perform your spoken word poem. It's a lot like when you're talking to your friend about a funny story or a movie that you just saw. You are a lot more animated and vocalize more than you think. Okay. During my personal process, I choose how I want to make the audience feel when I say my connection word. It could be loud, which demonstrates that I like to use my words loudly to demonstrate attention. Or I can deliver it very quietly, which demonstrates a different attention seeker, like sounding mysterious. Or I can use my neutral voice, like I do during my performance. Speak. I then do the same for my other connection words. Freedom. Foundation. Now try it with me. I am not here to teach you how to speak, but instead how to be free. With poetic freedom of speech, creating a creative translation, Kennedy Center's education brings us a small brick of spoken words foundation. Okay, I see you, poet. Now, let's move over to movement. The movement you choose to go with your connection word can be big. It could be small. It could be as tiny as a shoulder roll. You can have fun and create a movement that's not an obvious one. Speak! Don't worry, I chose a small one. Speak. Now let's do it for the rest of my connection words. Freedom. Do you remember what I chose for foundation? Oh, good guess. That's right. I chose foundation. Now, do we dare try to do our vocalization and movement together? Yeah, are you ready to get down? I am not here to teach you how to speak, but instead how to be free. With poetic freedom of speech, creating a creative translation, Kennedy Center's education brings us a small brick of spoken words foundation. Can you see how those words suddenly came alive? Powerful. And by the way, you can hold up your movement for as long as you want. Dramatic pauses always bring power to your word. Let's try it one more time and feel free to add your own vocalization and movement to it. I am not here to teach you how to speak, but instead how to be free. With poetic freedom of speech, creating a creative translation, Kennedy Center's education brings you a small brick of spoken words foundation. Ooh, poet, I see you. Great work. That was amazing. So remember, to be a spoken word artist, you really should be the author of your own spoken word. You can take now these 3 steps and you can try them with any poem that you've written in any poetic format or with a favorite published poem. Just have fun. Because I had fun and I hope you had fun and I hope we had fun so that we both have fun because it's fun. Spoken word. Stand strong and speak your word. Now more than ever, use your freedom. Small brick by small brick, you can build a poetic foundation and release your creative expressions. Now, as we end our journey together of this unique technique of poetic beauty, explore with deep curiosity, links and clouds of the world of spoken word, the queen of verbalization. Bust out of your cocoon, spread your wings and fly over to see all of the wonders and nectars that the teaching artist presents has to offer. Step, tap, ink, theater, improv, workshops, TikTok. Don't stop. Don't sleep, young poet. Own your power. Own your word. Own your world. Inhale brilliance. Exhale spoken word.